CSNWashington.com.
This event is very important to a lot of people. It started about 21 years ago with Darryl Green and the Youth Life Foundation. We're just so privileged and honored to give back to our military kids, because we recognize what their parents do for us, how they sacrifice so much for our nation, because we understand that freedom is not free. So even during the season, a lot of time it's all about receiving, but just to be in the position that I am to give back, and my teammates that came out and helped, Redskin, a family that was out here today, just to be able to give their time. These kids had an awesome time today, and hopefully we were able to, just support them, and they can go back home and just tell their parents what they experienced today.
For more video, check out CSNWashington.com. CSNWashington.com.
Well, this event, we call it Christmas with the Redskins, which I founded it something like 100 years ago. Just with the vision of being a blessing to kids at a real personal level, and not just, hey, we bring you into an event and here's some soda and punch and here's some generic gift, but it's people who have taken their time to go out, get you a gift with you in mind, your size, and spend the evening with you, and just make it special. And obviously the last 2 years we've focused on, kids. Last year, kids of deployed parents. This year, kids of wounded soldiers. It's just special. I mean, we know there's nothing special about us. We're just trying to do what we all should be doing and looking out for our fellow man and particularly our kids. And you've heard this a million times. I mean, goodness. The soldiers, the military people make it all right for us. So I just think it's special. I appreciate the people, not only the Redskins, but all of the people that support this work. It takes a lot. It takes a lot to do this, to put all this stuff together. Now we've got the game room. We always had the toys. It's just a night for the kids. It's that simple. I'm just another player on the team.
What do you see on those kids' faces?
Man, and that's the whole key. And it's not, I think it's more than the presence when you really get down to it. It's just they can feel the love. They can feel it. They feel special. They know that this is about you, because there's nobody else being honored and acknowledged. All the attention is on them, and we talk about that 30 minutes, an hour before they get here. We talk about the focus of why we're here. And so everybody is already postured, but extremely postured to be a blessing to these kids, and you see it come out. So I'm just glad to be a part of it. I'm the most blessed man in the world, being in this community so long and being able to be a blessing, both receive a blessing and to give a blessing.
For more video, check out CSNWashington.com. CSNWashington.com.
You just see all the happiness and the smiles that they have, and you know that you did a good thing for them, and hopefully it brings their holidays to another level and they can enjoy it for the rest of their lives. I think that you get to be directly in touch, and you're directly responsible for one or two kids, and you sort of get to know them over the evening, and you get to go play games with them and sit there and have a conversation with them at the table and eat food with them and just get to be around them for the whole couple hours, and you really get to know them. These events are very good just because of the fact that it takes your mind off of football and lets you realize that there is life outside of the game, and regardless of what happens on Sundays, things like this are actually more important, and there's bigger things going on in life than just playing a football game.
For more video, check out CSNWashington.com. CSNWashington.com.
Hi folks, welcome into Football Friday. Time to take a look at the Washington Catholic Athletic Conference playoffs, where 4 teams enter, but only 2 head to next Sunday's championship game at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium in Annapolis. We start our WCSC coverage with DeMatha and St. John's. The top-seeded Stags came into Friday night with a sterling 8-2 record, while St. John's pulled a huge upset, beating Gonzaga 27-21 on the last day of the regular season to clinch the number 4 seed in the WCAC playoffs. These teams meeting for the second time this year. DeMatha came out on top in the first meeting, 37-14. DeMatha quarterback Nikolai Uharic goes to work. He'll roll out of the pocket, looking downfield, and delivers it to his tight end. Every quarterback loves a good tight end. Brett Wilkerson with the catch. He takes it down to the St. John's 5-yard line. Big play coming up. DeMatha trying to punch it in, take that early lead. Uharic hands it off to Darian Harris, and he fumbles the ball on the 2-yard line, and St. John's will recover. Their fans, well, you know what they're thinking. They're loving it as the St. John's defense holds, and the fans starting to think, hey, maybe we've got a chance to pull the upset of the number 1 seed DeMatha Stags. But Blake Monroe looking for some daylight. He'll find it. A nice little pickup there. St. John's moving the ball on offense, but DeMatha would get the ball back. Uharic hands it off to Jacob Sawicki, and whenever they need a touch, get it, DeMatha runs off with this one. The final score, 34-20. The Stags advance to the WCAC final. Our next game figured to be a shootout if there ever was one. Gonzaga and Good Counsel are both loaded with playmaking talent, and when the two schools met in late October, they combined for nearly 90 points in a 50-38 Good Counsel win. We head to Olney to see if the Falcons could hold off Gonzaga yet again, or if the Eagles would get their revenge. The Gonzaga fans, as they do no matter the sport, going nuts, but they were in hostile territory over Good Counsel. Good Counsel up big late in this one, 37-0. Brandon Marshall, backup quarterback for the Falcons in. He'll pitch it to Dorian O'Daniel. Great little pickup right there as the Falcons continuing to try and build their lead. That sets up Marshall, who hands it off to O'Daniel again, and this time he gets in for 6. 44-0 at that point. Now, when these two teams met earlier, as we told you, it was a shootout. This one, all Good Counsel, 44-0. They're going to the ship.
I tell you, in my wildest dreams, that I think we can shut them out, honestly. I mean, they are a terrific team. They got 38. We held them to 38 first time, and so Billy Goodman, our D coordinator, just put together a plan, and the kids bought into it, and you know, it just worked out that way.
We came out, our offense was executing well, our defense was stopping them. You know, a couple crucial turnovers, interceptions was big for us, and just keep Hogan off the field, and we did our thing.
Well, there you have it. The WCAC Championship is set. For more on the WCAC, check out our friends over at DCSportsFan.com. Great pictures, write-ups, and forums on the WCAC, DCIAA, and more. Want more highlights? Keep it right here as we head to Montgomery County, Maryland for a full slate of great games at both the 4A and 3A level. You're watching Football Friday on CSNWashington.com.
For more video, check out CSNWashington.com. CSNWashington.com.
Welcome back to Football Friday, folks, as we make our way into the city. Our first matchup from the district takes us to Cardozo, where the surprising Clerks are 3-0. Now, that undefeated record was put to the test Friday night as Cardozo entertained McKinley. McKinley might be 1-4, but they've got a young man in Kevin Thompson who has been lighting it up of late. The senior ran for 262 yards last week against Theodore Roosevelt, and through 5 weeks is already one of the D.C. area's leading rushers. Kevin Thompson has been having an absolutely monster breakout season, but would that be the case on Friday night? The Cardozo band, they had something to say about it, drumming away, getting people pumped up. So were the Clerks cheerleaders, putting on a little dance show before the game gets going. Cardozo would strike first. Tyrone Campbell hands off to Marquise Burden, and number 9 in for 6. Cardozo going for 2. But Campbell gets swallowed up. The McKinley defense making a big-time play. Remember, this is a team that went toe-to-toe with Dunbar earlier this season. Cardozo trying to put another drive together, but the exchange bobbled, and number 95, Bernard Fernandez, falls on top of the fumble. McKinley's offense loving what they saw from their defense, and they take advantage. It's Kevin Thompson showing his running open field, nearly runs over the cameraman. That's Trevor Martin, but he managed to come out of that unscathed. Can't say that about a lot of teams that have gone up against Thompson this year. That sets up a pitch and catch from Cortez Charles to Dominic Harden. McKinley misses a point after, but they wouldn't miss much on this one as they win 42-12 to get a huge victory. Next up in D.C., we go looking for a little bit of history. Now, a big deal was made when Natalie Randolph was selected as the head coach at Coolidge High School. And despite all the ESPN cameras and local media attention, the Colts haven't been able to put their new taskmaster in the win column just yet. But they were looking to change that Friday night as Coolidge ran up against Anacostia. The Colts getting fired up in the second half. They were already up 28-12 at the midway point. Coach Natalie Randolph looking to make history with her first win as the first female high school football coach in the district. Her quarterback, Oluwafemi Bamiro, helping that effort with a long bomb here as he airs it out under pressure. Dayon Pratt comes down with it. He sheds the defender and goes in for 6. Nice play as the Coolidge Colts feeling a little bit of history coming on. Randolph giving her quarterback some advice, and it would pay off, whatever the play call was, as Bamiro hands it off to Christopher Strong. Strong had a strong night as he would finish with 4 touchdowns on the evening. He wasn't done. You'll see another one of his 4 right here. Strong rushing off tackle for the score. The final in this one, 4-12, as Coolidge and Natalie Randolph get their first victory of the season. After the game, she avoids the Gatorade bath once, but would she be able to avoid it again? You know, those Coolidge Colts, they're nothing if not well coached, so they don't give up, and they eventually do get Coach Randolph. After the game, in the locker room, she gets the game ball. Certainly worthy of that for making some history.
You know, it was so surreal. You know, it's like, you know, I don't want to over-dramatize it, but, you know, this being my first start, it's like when you grow up, you know, in the backyard thinking, I can't wait till I throw that first touchdown pass. And, you know, the O-line did great, the receivers did great, the running backs did awesome. It was just a whole team effort, and we got a great W today.
I mean, he saw it. They needed it. They needed it. They won it. I'm so glad we got it.
Well, there you have it. Another great night of D.C. football. Coming up next on Football Friday, we hit the burbs for 2 massive matchups of unbeatens in Montgomery County. Sherwood at Gaithersburg and Damascus at Springbrook. Those great highlights still to come. You're watching Football Friday at csnwashington.com.
We are the Doza X's of Divas, and you're watching Football Friday at csnwashington.com.
For more video, check out csnwashington.com.